It is a pleasure for M&A Advisor to welcome Dan McClory, Managing Director and Head of China and West Coast Investment Banking with Bonwick Capital. Thank you for being with us.
Sure, great to be here.
Specifically, though, what does Bonwick Capital do, especially with regard to M&A?
So we're an investment bank, a boutique investment bank headquartered in New York, and I run the West Coast operation from Southern California. I'm also the head of China. So we've worked with international clients on outbound mergers and acquisitions, increasingly Chinese companies that want to acquire assets and technologies and distribution channels here in the United States. We've also worked on equity capital markets, so raising capital from these companies in the public markets, North America, Europe, Asia.
Okay. You were on the panel today, so what did you talk about, and then what did you glean from today's session?
So we had a wonderful panel. There were a total of 7 panelists that were with us. And increasingly what we heard about was the need for Chinese companies in their outbound direct investment to be chaperoned, to have good advisors and good counseling. We hear about the large transactions where they have capable in-house teams, but the middle market and lower middle market is very inexperienced. And we always say don't attempt this at home without adult supervision. But it couldn't be more true than in today's China outbound M&A market. The other point that was made several times is that China is highly ranked in many different categories, but today, for better or for worse, China is the capital of excess capacity. And one of the ways that China is trying to offset that is to buy companies outside of China where they can somehow mitigate some of that excess capacity with foreign distribution channels, clients, other manufacturing operations. So those were a couple of important takeaways.
Yes, very much so. Is that what you spoke on, or that's what you heard?
A couple of those points I spoke on, and some of those points I heard. The other panelists, again, there were some common themes that were discussed. CFIUS and the role of government approvals, whether it's clearing a transaction in advance or making sure you can get through the process before you even embark on it. That was a major theme. We talked in some cases about the macro environment, so the steady but slow devaluation of the yuan versus the dollar, and how has that impacted deals? Chinese companies, for example, rushing to repay their dollar-denominated debt before it gets too expensive. But CLXX put together, I think, a great group, and we had a jam-packed audience that was there for the duration, standing room only, and just another great event from M&A Advisor.
Well, thank you for saying that, and thank you for being a part of it. Dan McClory, Managing Director and Head of China and West Coast Investment Banking with Bonwick Capital. It's a pleasure.